Hey there, my name is Megan and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing the end of year book tag. This is a tag that I know I did last year. I don't know if I did it in 2018 or 2019. It's just 6 questions that help you kind of reflect on your reading for the past year. But before we go ahead and get on into the tag, if you are not already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the little bell icon so you can be notified every time I post new bookish content. I post new videos every Monday, Thursday, Saturday, and sometimes other days throughout the week. Question number 1 is, are there any books this year that you started and still need to finish? And this is really unusual for me, but yes, I am very good about picking up books that I put down or just plowing through and reading a book to the end or DNFing. It is very unusual for me to stop midway in a book and then wait as long as I have to pick this book back up again. I technically have 3, but one of them is a reread, and then the other 2 were new books that I started this year. The first one is Valor by John Gwynne. This is one that I plan on finishing in December because I feel like it's a black cloud hanging over my head. I started this book, I think, back in like summer and just stopped reading it around the halfway point, which is, you know, a pretty big chunk of the way through to stop reading. And I do want to finish it because I want to get through more of his work. The next one is The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. I started reading this, I think, in springtime with the awesome people over on my Discord. We were doing a buddy read, and I actually was listening to this on audiobook, and I got to the part right where he breaks out of prison and he's confronting the first person he wants to seek revenge on. I can't remember his name. And I don't know, I kind of like lost interest in the story. I know the story, I've seen the movies, and I'm really on the fence if I even want to pick this book back up and finish it. It just wasn't gripping me enough to be one that I want to prioritize even in 2022. I'm not saying that I'll never read it and I'll never finish it, but like there's just so many other books, even classics, that I'd rather get to before finishing The Count of Monte Cristo. So I don't know, this one I'm just really on the fence about. Let me know in the comments if you think I should prioritize this in 2022 and just get it read, or if I should put it on the back burner for now. And the last book is The Lies of Locke Lamora, and this is a reread for me, so it really wasn't a priority for me to finish, but I was loving this reread. Like, I was totally loving it. And even my husband, who I've been like begging to read this book for like 4 years, finally listened to it on audio, and he's like trying to talk to me about it, and I'm like, I don't remember that happening. And now like I can't even talk to him about it because I can't remember like the details of this book because it's been so long since I read it. So I really do want to reread this series. It's one of my favorites. I love it so much. Definitely not going to happen by the end of the year, but maybe something I can get to in early 2022. Question 2 is, do you have an autumnal book to transition you into the end of the year? Not specifically, but I did purposely pick up a book like end of November, early December to get me in the winter Christmas mood. And that book is Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik. Sorry, this is just the dust jacket. My book is downstairs. And I've been wanting to read this book like forever, since it's been on my shelf. I really enjoyed Uprooted by her, and the awesome patrons of mine picked this as one of our buddy reads, so I was like, yes. And I'm really loving it. It is so atmospheric. It takes place in kind of like a fictional land, but you can tell there's like Eastern European, Russian influences, and it just follows a whole cast of characters as they are dealing with this fairy king that is causing these eternal winters, and it's very atmospheric, very wintry. I can actually just feel the snow and the cold, and it's really, really enjoyable and perfect for this time of year. Question 3 is there a new release for 2021 that you are still waiting for? And kind of, the ones that I was really excited about came out recently, and it was really funny because my mom, she's like, hey, why don't you just buy some books and have them shipped to the house as like some early Christmas gifts, because I go to visit them over the Christmas holiday. And I was like, yeah, sure. So I ordered 2 of my most anticipated books of the end of the year. The first one is Titanic by Brandon Sanderson. This is the 3rd book in the Skyward series. I don't know if it's the finale. I don't know how many books are going to be in this series of his, but this is a YA sci-fi that takes place in a world that was being attacked constantly by these aliens. It follows a main character named Spencer, who's a fighter pilot, and book 2, Starsight, definitely expanded the world so much more than I was anticipating, because he definitely left a lot of good hooks in Starsight, especially the ending. So super excited for that. And then the next book is The Fall of Babel by Josiah Bancroft. This is book 4 in his Books of Babel series, and the last one, I believe. And I've only read Senlin Ascends, but I absolutely loved it, and I don't know what's wrong with me, why I haven't gotten to the 2nd book, because every time I look at it on my shelf, I'm like, I really want to read that. But I absolutely loved the 1st book, and I know I'm going to love the entire series, so I had to get book 4. Question 4 is, what is 3 books that you want to get to by the end of the year? And other than Valor, which I've already started, I want to read Emperor of Thorns by Mark Lawrence. This is book 3 in his Broken Empire trilogy. Obviously, I read the first 2, absolutely loved them. And I'm really excited to see how this trilogy ends because I've heard that it's really, really good. And also, these books are fairly short for fantasy and they're really easy to get through. So I don't know why I haven't decided to pick it up and just finish it. It's not like it's a really dense read. So I do want to get this trilogy knocked off my trilogies or series that I finished in 2021 list because I don't want it hanging over into 2022. I do have full reviews for the first 2 books in the series, and I'll go ahead and put those up in the cards if you're interested in checking them out. The next one is Fool's Fate by Robin Hobb. I have been reading Robin Hobb throughout the whole year, and I've got through Live Ship Traders, and now I'm in the Tawny Man trilogy, and I still need to finish up this trilogy. And I was supposed to read it in October and November and just didn't get to it. And this is one that I am going to pick up as soon as I'm done reading Spinning Silver because I want to start the Rainbow Chronicles with Andrew over at Andrew's Wizardly Reads and Nico's Book Reviews, who are 2 awesome booktubers. Make sure you check them out. And I need to have read this in order to read the Rainbow Chronicles. So this is definitely a priority. I'm a little bit scared because it is one of the thicker books of hers and it's very dense. I know how Hobb is. She's very descriptive and very slow burn with her plots, but I loved the first 2 books. I'm so excited to see how this trilogy ends. And finally is A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. I have a collection of his books in a large tome type thing, and I have never read A Christmas Carol. It is the holiday book, and I read the play adaptation with my 7th graders every year. So I've read the play multiple times, and I've seen the movie, the 2009 animated version, multiple times, and I've just never read the book. So this year I was like, I'm going to read A Christmas Carol. It's something I will do, I don't know, Christmas Eve, something, so that I can say I finally read it. Question 5 is there a book that could shock you and still become your favorite book of the year? And I'm going to say no, just because I'm going to be focusing mostly on wrapping up some series that I need to finish by the end of the year. I don't think I'm going to have a new favorite unless a finale just blows me away. But I've read some awesome books this year, Hyperion, To Sleep in a Sea of Stars. So I really don't think that any of the books I read in December are going to be better than those. And the last question is, have you already started making your 2022 reading plans? And yes and no. So a couple of months ago, I did a video on all of the fantasy series that I need to complete and also the young adult series that I need to complete. And honestly, those are the series that I want to focus on early on in 2022 because I don't like just having a ton of series that I'm in the middle of. And some of these series are awesome series that I'm really enjoying, and some of them I've been reading for a couple of years. And since I've made those videos, I have only finished 1 series, and it was a young adult duology, which is not even the biggest thing. So I'll link those videos up in the cards for you to check them out, and I will be getting to some of those books. And also, I think I might have to lower my Goodreads goal in 2022 because as of right now, I am not going to meet my Goodreads goal for 2021 unless I read about 12 books in December, which I have read that many books in a month. So I'm not saying it's not possible, but I don't think it's going to happen. And just based on the fact that I am going to school full-time and working full-time, I'm just not reading very much. So I know in 2022, I'm just not going to be able to hit 52 books. So I'll probably put my goal closer to 40, which I think is more feasible. Okay, you guys, so that is it for the end of year book tag. Let me know in the comments if you've read any of these books, what you thought of them, maybe some of the answers to these prompts, and I will see y'all in another video soon. Goodbye.